Welcome, everybody, to the Scale Up Show. I have a very special guest with me today. I have Rob Moore. Rob is the host of the Disruptive Entrepreneur podcast. Over 700 episodes, millions of downloads, I should say. Rob, absolutely killing it there. He's doing over 9 figures in revenue on the trading side of his business. He is also mentor and advisor to celebrities and multimillionaires. And I think he had over 15 billionaires on his podcast. Is that right, Rob?
16. With my 17th arranged.
Awesome, man. Well, super happy to have you on the show. You are a unicorn of a guest in terms of some of the things that you've done. So I absolutely love that. What I love to hear, man, is, and I just scratched the surface of what you're involved in, what you're working on. Can you give everyone just a quick understanding of all the things that you're kind of focused on right now, your different businesses, your attention empire, as we shall put it, and just walk us through that real quick, man, so everybody has a good starting point.
Sure. So I run the UK's largest property training company called Progressive Property. And then in 2008, we acquired a business and personal development training company. I acquired that for virtually nothing and built that in its peak to an 11 million pounds revenue in 2016. So that company's now 16 years old. It's its 16th anniversary. And, you know, on a COVID year, it might be 12 million, and in a non-COVID year, it might be 20 or so sterling. Add a bit of change on for dollars, top line revenue. In that time, I've written 18 or co-written or written 18 business and real estate related books. Probably my most well-known are Money and Life Leverage. I have 2 podcasts, the Disruptive Entrepreneur and Money. And now we're over 1,000 episodes, I think, across those 2 podcasts. I broke the world record for the longest public speech and then broke it again with a team twice. Over sort of the 2015 to 2018 years. I have a foundation called the Rob Moore Foundation that helps young and underprivileged people start meaningful businesses that change the world. This last 12 months, I've focused on being a creator and spending as much time creating more content as I do running my companies. I have more than 1 million followers on my social media now, one of the top 100 followed on Clubhouse. I have about 1,500 tenants in my real estate business. We have a management company, the largest property management company in our city. And we're developing 2 apartment blocks of about 220 tenants that will be in those 2 apartment blocks. One of them actually made a 13,477 pound net profit in November 21. Wow. That was rolled up over some months, but it was one of my best months. And those 2 projects are probably worth north of $25 million, maybe more. So that's a little bit of a landscape history, I suppose, of my entrepreneurial journey, as you asked. Moving beyond and into the future, I'm probably going to launch a series of NFTs for my top fans and followers, and working on, you know, helping as many people on this planet start and scale their business and get better financial education. So my personal mission and vision that I'd like to spend the next 50 years on is teaching people how to build multiple streams of recurring income and get better financial knowledge. I don't think that the information in schools is modern enough for being innovative, enterprising, and entrepreneurial. And so I want to make sure I give back and do a lot more work with my foundation. So yeah, I suppose that answers your question on a bit of a journey over the last 16 years. I'm now just about to hit 43. So I'm a bit of a granddad now in this. These young YouTubers making millions off entertainment, you know, some of them are kind of like people I look up to now, whereas it was the 70-year-old billionaires I used to look up to when I was 27.
Rob, why, did you decide, you have all those businesses, all those things going on? Why did you really decide over the last year and a half to focus on creating content?
Number one, first and foremost, which should be the driver of your decisions, is I really enjoy it. I don't enjoy managing tenants. I don't enjoy dealing with insurance and brokers and lawyers. accountants. Not that there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not my flow. I really enjoy things like this, sharing content, hopefully inspiring other people like people inspired me, and hopefully giving people some practical tactics. I think that being a creator is a legitimate career now, whereas maybe it wasn't 5 years ago. Many of the social media platforms that I'm quite prolific and consistent on are rewarding me with many monetization tools. It opens up massive collaboration opportunities. I love meeting really cool and interesting people, and you get to do that in your interviews and collaborations. So really, that's the main driver. Another driver is it's an additional income stream. So, you know, I've got book and audio book income streams. I've got real estate income streams. I've got property management income streams. I've got my training businesses income streams, and the sort of creator and social media monetization income streams, an additional income stream, an unrelated income stream. It's also where you're going to meet 99% of your followers, fans, subscribers, customers, and collaborators on social media. So it's a merging of many worlds that I'm really interested in. And it's also a way to peer into the future of NFTs and cryptos and the metaverse in all these Discord communities. And, you know, you learn a lot of the information in clubhouse rooms and things like that. So they're the main reasons why I'm really keen on the creator space. Running companies shouldn't be a full-time job. If you've got a good senior team and a good MD or good board members, you shouldn't have to be working on those full-time. If you do, then you're not leveraged enough and you haven't got the right senior team and the right staff. And, you know, across my main companies now, staff in-house and contractors and outsourcers, we now have about 250 people on the payroll. So if I have to work 24/7 in my company, I'm not leveraging enough these specialist roles of those 250 odd people that are on our payroll. So doing other things in the creator space commits me to being more leveraged and, relying on my senior team to really grow the companies.
How many hours a week do you work on average?
That is a really variable question, because I'm the most consistently inconsistent and inconsistently consistent person you're likely to meet, in that I get this routine and I get really religious to it and I hack it. And then I change it up because I'm bored, and I work on lots of different projects. And then you've got to define what's work and what's pleasure. So actual hours, grafting, I would say 4 hours a day, something like that.
How do you only work 4 hours a day when I see you doing clubhouse rooms all the time? You do the reoccurring revenue or reoccurring income summit. Like you're always doing stuff like that. So how do you make that a reality then with all the businesses and all the things, and how, I guess, and I'm sure you're going to leverage it, but how are you everywhere?
Yeah. So there's two words: leverage and repurposing. So the Recurring Income Summit, which is a 2-day, 16-hour special event we run, I do 2 slots, an hour each, day 1 and day 2. And I've got my partners and the founder of Netflix and billionaires and the host who do the other slots. So, I do 1 slot every 8, 1 hour every 8. That's leverage. When I do clubhouse rooms, I'll start the room, I'll bring in a squad, and we'll each take in turns to do our half-hour slot, and I'll do 1 half-hour slot in a 3-hour room. Currently, right now, I'm in a clubhouse room, but I'm not in a clubhouse room, and someone else is running it. So there's leverage there. So that's the way I like to play the game. I've got a senior team. I've got 85, 90 in-house staff in my training businesses and lettings business. So I'm only one of those guys. I only do 189th or 190th of the hours required to run those businesses. So that's number one, leverage. And then number 2 is repurposing, whereby I'll create content on one platform and I'll share it on all the others. So I'll often be live in Clubhouse and Instagram at the same time while recording a podcast episode, or I'll do something like this with you, and then we'll chop up the best bits for TikTok and Instagram Reels and Facebook and YouTube and everything else. So one piece of content into 10, into 40, into 50 gives the illusion of, well, it's not an illusion of omnipresence. It is omnipresence, but it's an illusion of live omnipresence.
How do you build an audience?
Number one is you've got to post content regularly. Number two, you've got to be clear what your niche is to attract the right audience. Number three, you've got to try and hack virality somehow, whether it's getting shares or doing interview collabs or finding a channel in its viral phase of growth. Number four is you've got to try and be a bit different, interesting, unique, quirky, disruptive, contrarian, controversial, polarizing, memorable. And then you've just got to keep at it and push through some droughts and push through some times where you feel like it's not really working, and keep testing new platforms and new tactics, new places to go live, new content, new headlines. So I'd say that's a little 5-step process of growing an audience in the quickest way possible.
Love that, man. Why do you think NFTs are the future? Like, I know you're spinning up a new project on that, but why are they the future? Why are NFTs the future?
Well, NFTs are possibly a part of the future.
Okay, gotcha.
They're not the future, because what goes up can also come down, and it's in an early adopter phase, but it may flatline or it may reverse. So for me, NFTs are part of the digital revolution. Now, if you think about it, the digital revolution was started by the internet, and the internet isn't even 4 decades old. And other things like telecommunications and rail and steel and oil, these are all centuries old. So the internet spawned the digital revolution as opposed to the industrial revolution or any other kind of revolution. And so what's gaining speed is information exchange across the planet faster than ever, the global interconnected network effect of reach instantaneously, and then all these new digital assets that are being built, cryptocurrencies, blockchains, altcoins, ICOs, DAOs, NFTs, the metaverse, you know, all these new disruptive digital assets, essentially. It's exciting, it's new, but it's also the Wild West. It's a land grab in the digital space. Some of these are going to be here to stay and are going to boom and become the future of digital real estate. And some of these are going to be a little bit of a flash in the pan. What do they call those coins that were flash in the pans? I think they call them shit coins. So, you know, NFTs are exciting because they're a part of this digital revolution.
What's your favorite tool in your business that you couldn't live without?
I would say my favorite tool is not a tool, it is the people.
There you go. Okay. Last but not least, where do you see with AI, machine learning, all this tech, the metaverse, where is the world of business going over the next 10 years?
The world of business is going where it's been going for the last 30 years, which is online. It's just what form. Is it social media? Is it the metaverse? Is it the blockchain? It's the fastest evolution of information exchange, the lowest friction of speed of implementation. So I couldn't tell you in 10 years where we're going to be, because the online world is going to have changed dramatically because it gets faster and faster and faster. But one lesson I've had is I jumped into many things too slowly. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Clubhouse, you name it, I jumped in too slow. Cryptos, Bitcoin. So what I would just say is, when you hear enough people you respect talk about a new tech or a new platform or a new media or a new asset, try it, test it, open it, launch it, and give it a go. Don't go all in. Only invest capital you can afford to lose when you start. But if you get in early enough in all the new proven, not when one person said it, when 5 people have said it that you respect, but you only need one of them to go big and you'll go really big.
Love that, man. Awesome. Where can people find you? Where can they learn more about Rob Moore and the Disruptive Entrepreneur?
Okay, so my podcast is called The Disruptive Entrepreneur. You find that anywhere. You can find me on all socials at Rob Moore or at Rob Moore Progressive. And then I have some money related gifts that I share, which is robmoore.com/MMM, as in make more money. So I'm writing 2 new money books, Increase Your Fees with Ease and The Laws of Money. I'll be giving free digital copies of those away before launch. And you can gain access to those 16 billionaire interviews, the Floyd Mayweather ones, etc. robmoore.com/MMM.
Love it, man. Thanks for being on the show. It was awesome having you on, and I loved your insights.
Pleasure, Ryan. Thanks for being a great host. I'll see you soon.
See you soon.